Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we shall be featuring a political presentation on the current candidates in the riding for Don Valley North. I, your host, Philip Murray, will be taking you on an, we'll say, quickie tour of the candidates that will be in this riding. Now, first, from a point of view, we shall take a look at our first candidate, Joe Daniels for the Conservative Party. As you can see right here, a brief visual of him and his good friend Stephen Harper. Now, we go to analyze Mr. Daniels' general search engine criteria. As you can see, first, a Wikipedia. Then Metro News, The Star, CBC, Open Parliament. As you can see from these posts right here, Mr. Daniel doesn't seem to be very in touch with his, social media acumen. I don't see a Twitter, I don't see a Facebook, I don't see a Pinterest, I see almost nothing at all. Just scandal after scandal, the Huffington Post, and so on and so forth. Now, if we quickly glance over to videos, the first things that we see are more controversies. Now, as I was saying, Mr. Joe Daniels' Twitter is completely active, keeping posts on a daily basis, yet his Facebook is completely non-existent. No picture, no verifiable confirmation that he's even on Facebook. In fact, I've had quite a large amount of trouble even finding his name on Facebook, and it's never him. No picture, no identification whatsoever. Complete lack of Facebook exposure. Twitter, on the other hand, Mr. Joe Daniel has done an incredible job. Voting, not so much voting as he is cheering for the Blue Jays of Toronto, a baseball, sort of a derivative of cricket, but ungentlemanly. Second candidate in the riding is Mr. Akhil Sadikali. I hope I did say his name right. I am rather bad with names, to quote Mr. Yang Bo Yu, who is also doing a similar project to mine. Now, as for Mr. Akhil Sadikali, he's quite up to date with all of his social media, including Twitter and Facebook, tweets going out almost every single day, cheering for the Jays. To be honest, this man is completely up to date with everything that's going on. He's very active within the community, and I would give him a big 2 thumbs up when it comes to just keeping in touch with the public. He seems to be reaching out and replying to all tweets and all Facebook replies. He's really quite up to date with everything that he's doing. My big suggestion would be just to try and further his exposure, perhaps a commercial on YouTube. I had a hard time finding that for any candidate. But yes, so far Mr. Akhil Sadikali is far better in terms of his capacity to get his name out there using social media. With no Facebook whatsoever, the Conservative Party is a bit lacking when it comes to modern exposure. As you can see from a quick Google search of Mr. Akhil Sadikali's name, New Democrat Party, we can see right from the start, right on Google, that more pertinent sites show up, including all of his websites for political websites, as well as his Wikipedia site as well comes up. Yet no Twitter, no Facebook comes up on the first page of Google, which is, as our social media professor told us, not ideal when it comes to someone who's in politics. Now we go to the second page on Google for Akhil Sadikali, and we see that the Facebook is now his very first choice in all the Google pages that are available. But still, page 2 will kill you. Yes, quite. Now, as I was saying, we have to move on to the third and final candidate for the Don Valley North riding, and this would be a Mr. Zhang Tan. Now, I will switch my point of view so that you can see a proper photograph of the candidate in question. As you can see here, he's a devoted family man with a child and wife. A very good political image. Now, as I scroll down in an initial Google search, we see here that, first he's got all his liberal political party websites over and over, and then as we scroll down, we finally see his Facebook, his Wikipedia right here, along with the Globe and Mail. Not so many newspaper articles or controversies, as we can see that his image or his first Google page search is a lot more clean than, say, the conservative candidate Joe Daniel, who is marred by controversy on the very first page of Google. Very, very unprofessional. Someone definitely forgot to clean up their candidate's image a little bit. Now, what do all the candidates have in common? Well, their Twitters are completely up-to-date, well cared for, and highly interactive, replying both to tweets, to individual tweets, and to anything else that might pop up on their Twitter. Unfortunately, however, the Conservatives have lagged behind when it comes to the Facebook exposure. Now, Akhil Sedikali and Zhang Tan of the NDP and the Liberal are well versed in the Facebook usage. Now, I have been unable to find more regarding videos on YouTube for their direct platform in their own writing, but it seems like they're all lagging behind a bit. So I would suggest perhaps a personal YouTube video showcasing their traits and what they are going to offer to their riding if they are to be elected. So, a little stronger on the social media, especially for Facebook and the Conservatives, and a little more stronger on the video aspects. All we can find in terms of video are controversies and debates and all these other things that are interesting, yet we don't really get a personal feeling for these candidates, which is a bit sad. Furthermore, I would also stress the fact that none of them have really made a complete impact to differentiate one from another. I don't feel anything for either one of these candidates, so they've done virtually nothing to grab my personal attention. This is Philip Ray signing off with his political reporting on the candidates for Don Valley North riding. Thank you very much and have yourself a pleasant evening. Cheerio.